Good morning, all of you. Dear students, today we are going to continue the chapter living and non-living things. Okay, so dear students, we have read about the different characteristics of living things that are, living things have definite shape and size. Living things are made up of smaller units called cells. Living things can grow, living things can move, living things can breathe, living things can excrete, can reproduce, etc, etc. Okay, so let's continue the characteristics of living things. Okay, so we have talked about that living things have different shape and size. Living things are made up of smaller units. Okay, living things can move. Okay, living things can grow. Okay, now next हम discuss करेंगे living things need food and energy. Okay, so all the living organisms, okay, all the living things need food and energy. How? Suppose you, okay, that if you don't take food in morning and in afternoon also, so what you feel? You feel, oh, I feel I'm very hungry, I need food. So you need food. Why you need food? Because food gives us energy. Okay, so by taking the food, by taking out the nutrients, okay, we energized and we are able to do different activities, like we can run, okay, we can walk, everything we can do. Okay, so anything if you want to do, we need energy. Okay, if you want to go from your home to your kitchen, so you need energy. Okay, so if you don't take food, your nutrients, you don't have energy, you can't do anything. Okay, likewise all the organisms, living organisms, okay, need food and energy. Okay, your puppy, like if you have pet, your puppy, if you have a rabbit, you have kitten or cat, so these all the animals need food. Okay, if they don't need food, if they didn't get the food, so they can't do anything and they just laying on the table. And okay, so what about plants? Okay, we can take our food by taking different dishes, our favorite dishes. So how plants take food? Plants are also living things. So how plants take their nutrition? So plant to take their nutrition by their own. Okay, we take the nutritions like proteins, carbohydrates by our food. Okay, we have learned that different components of food like carbohydrates, protein, fats, minerals, these are all the nutrients that we get from our food. Okay, so we can take the nutrients from vegetables, fruits, from rice, dal, different foodstuffs. Okay, so how the plants take their nutrition? So plants take their nutrition by their own. Okay, so you have learned this in your previous class, in your lower class, that the plants make their food by the process of photosynthesis. Okay, so plant use air, okay, water, in the presence of sunlight. Plant make their food, and this process of making food in the presence of sunlight is called as photosynthesis. Okay, so plants make their food and by the plant we take food. Okay, so ultimately we can say that plants make food for all of us. Okay, so plants हम सबके लिए food बनाते हैं and we are dependent on plants for our food and nutrients. Okay, we either take food by plants or animals, but ultimately animals are also taking food by plants. Okay, so we can say that plants make food for all of us. Okay, clear? So we need food. Living things need food. Plants also need food. Okay, now so next one is living things respire to get energy. Okay, so we are we know that we take food and food gives us energy. So how this food gives us energy? When we respire, okay, by respiration we get energy from our food. How? So we need oxygen, we need air to breathe. Very well, breathness is very important for living beings. Okay, and and in breathing process we need air, and most important air is oxygen. Okay, so we need oxygen Okay, then oxygen goes in our body with our nose, and it fills in our lungs. Mostly mammals have lungs. Okay, so it fills in our lungs, then it goes in our each and every cells of our body. Okay, so where there the food, okay, we have taken, oxidized or burned with the help of this oxygen and release energy. Okay, clear? So we respire, and in respiration process, what is respiration process? It is a process of burning or oxidation of food to release energy. Okay, so what happens in respiration? Actually respiration में क्या होता है कि we have taken the food already. ठीक है, जो हमने food लिया हुआ है, so this food goes in our each and every cells. ठीक है, so हर हमारी बॉडी के जो स्मॉलर यूनिट्स है उस हर यूनिट में पहुंच जाता है. So when we take oxygen, when we take air, this air fills in our lungs. Okay, then through the blood, this air goes each and every cells of our body. Okay, and there by by this air, the food which is stored in our cells burnt. Okay, so and burned, and after burning they release energy, and this energy is utilized by our body. Okay, clear? So respiration is the process of releasing energy by the burning or oxidation of food. Clear? Now and it also includes breathing. Okay, so we are continuously saying that living things breathe, living things respire. So breathing and respiration, okay, both are the same process, but is not same. We can say that actually same, but in the process of respiration is the process of releasing energy by the food. Okay, and breathing is the process of taking in and releasing out of air. Okay, we breathe. हम कहते हैं कि हम सांस ले रहे हैं, सांस हमने लिया, हमने सांस छोड़ दिया. ठीक है, यानी कि हम एयर लेते हैं फिर एक्सेल करते हैं. ठीक है, तो दिस इज द ब्रीदिंग प्रोसेस. ठीक है, what happens in our body by this air? This is the respiration. Okay, clear? I think it is clear to all of you what is breathing and what is respiration. Okay, so breathing is most important. Air, ठीक है, because this air goes in our cells, and this by this air the food that we have taken already is burned and release energy. Okay, clear? So breathing is the process of inhaling and exhaling, यानी कि taking in and taking out of air from the body. Okay, and respiration is the process of releasing energy by the oxidation or burning of food. Okay, so all the living organisms breathe and respire. So what do you think? Plants also breathe. Okay, so how we breathe? Because we have nose. Okay, by nose air goes in our body. Okay, now we have lungs to fill this air. So the main respiratory organs we can say in mammals. Okay, mammals, birds, reptiles. So the animals that live on land. ठीक है, जो animals land पे रहते हैं, they have lungs. Okay, and you know very well the fishes have gills. Okay, so aquatic animals that live in water have gills. Okay, so by their gills they respire. But what about whale and dolphins? Okay, so big fish, that is whale and dolphins not have gills, because they are also aquatic animals, but they do not have gills. They don't respire with the help of gills. They have lungs. Okay, like us. ठीक है, हमारे जैसे उनके पास भी lungs होते हैं, because they are in our category. ठीक है, वो हमारे जैसे ही होते हैं, बस वो पानी में रहते हैं. ठीक है, सो बस एक आपको एक्सेप्शन याद रखना है, दैट इज कि whales and dolphins have lungs. Okay, now what about plants? So plants, plants also living organisms. They also need oxygen, and they also release carbon dioxide, but actually they don't take in oxygen and release out of air in the process of respiration. Why? Plants make their food by the process of photosynthesis. Okay, so in the process of photosynthesis, which air plants use? Plants use carbon dioxide. Okay, and release oxygen. Just opposite. So in process of photosynthesis, plants use air, that is mainly carbon dioxide, from the atmosphere and utilize this carbon dioxide and release oxygen as a byproduct. So they release oxygen. Okay, so in respiration process they also need oxygen. So the byproduct of the photosynthesis, the oxygen, they use this oxygen. Okay, so they don't have to keep releasing the oxygen in the atmosphere, because they also need oxygen. Okay, so in the process of photosynthesis they release oxygen, so they immediately utilize this oxygen in the process of respiration. Okay, and by respiration they release carbon dioxide, so also they take in the process of photosynthesis. So plants do not release oxygen and carbon dioxide because they utilize both the gases, okay, in both the processes of photosynthesis and respiration. Okay, clear? So how plants take in the air and release out of air? Because plants do not have like our body, that they don't have nose, lungs, etc. Plants take oxygen by the tiny holes present in their leaves. Leaves have tiny holes that are called as stomata. Okay, so plant take or plant exchange gases with this hole called as stomata. Okay, in leaves. So plants have so many leaves, so in so many holes, so the air goes with this stomata and they utilize this air. Okay, clear? Now next one, that living things excrete. Excrete means they release out or they remove the unwanted from their body. Okay, so this is the characteristics of living things, they excrete or they release out the unwanted or undigested or toxic and harmful or excess material from their body. Okay, so we all sweat. Okay, we all during hot humid days we sweat. Okay, why? Because it's a sweat. By sweating the process, we release the excess salt with mixed with water is released or expelled from our body. Okay, so this is harmful and this is excess material basically. Okay, and what is harmful material in our body? That is carbon dioxide. Okay, so carbon dioxide is released in the process of breathing. Okay, now when we take food, so all the nutrients are absorbed and the undigested food is expelled out from the anus, that is called as fecal matter. Okay, when we go to toilet. So and also urine. Okay, so urine is also the excess material. It also contains the harmful materials and the toxic materials of our body. So like human beings, all the animals expel and release the unwanted and harmful materials from their body. Okay, so plants, what about plants? Plants also release harmful and their digested materials. Okay, so plants, yes, plants also secrete. How? Plants also excrete harmful substances. How can we know? So when you in some plants, when you pluck their leaves, okay, so you see that there is a some watery fluid. Okay, so this is their unwanted material. Some plants stems secrete, you can see that there is the secretion, there is expelling the some substances. So this is the unwanted, undigested or waste material of the plant. That the material is actually the waste material of the plant, but we can use this material. That that rubber that we are using to raise the pencil things. So this rubber is made up from the latex of the plant. And what is latex? Latex is the unwanted and waste material of the plant. Okay, so plant actually excrete, but we can say it's a secretion of the plant. Okay, so all living things remove metabolic waste products. Okay, so in animals we release metabolic waste products, that is called the excretion, and in plants expel the waste material from their body. So this process is called secretion. Okay, so plants secrete so many things that plants secrete or excrete their waste product, but this waste product is useful for us. Okay, like a gum, okay, to stick the substances. So gum is secreted by acacia tree. It is used as adhesive. Okay, adhesive quality hoti hai in confectionery and in medicines. Resin. Resin is produced by pines and firs, that are trees. So it is used in making varnish and ointments. Okay, resin. Now latex. Latex is secreted by rubber, banyan and calotropis trees. So this latex from rubber plant is used for making rubber. Okay, clear? So these all things are the excretory materials or secretions of the plant, but we can use, and we use these materials in our products. Okay, clear? Now next one here, that living things reproduce, so we will talk about in next class.